So very good morning. Welcome back to our classroom, and our agenda for the next 3-4 days is going to be revision of important topics, or I would say most questioned topics uh, in terms of your examination under quantitative aptitude. So when is your exam scheduled for Jan 2026 examinations?
I can't hear you. 18,
18th to
20,
24th, correct.
20 to
So your
20.
exams are scheduled. Uh, Yeah, okay. Your exams are scheduled between 18th and 24th of Jan, and paper 3 is your quantitative aptitude paper, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So I think on 22nd Jan should be your quantitative
Yes, ma'am.
aptitude if I'm not wrong. Right. So now we have about 1.5 months. I would rather say, from 1 month and about 10 days starting from now, because from 10th or 11th of Jan, you will only have time to prepare for your exams and you will not have time for studying subject wise. So effectively use this time to split your, concentration across the 4 papers in such a manner that you are able to cover more important areas in all the papers, so that you are able to score equally well in all the 4 papers, right? Now, okay, so coming to all preparation strategies later, let's first get started with how your paper is going to be uh, pattern. We all know the pattern: 40 marks of maths, 40 marks of stats, and 20 marks of logical reasoning. Now, in terms of the important areas of discussion, we all know in maths, the major areas that is going to be covered is going to be mathematics of finance, okay, then permutation combination, okay. These two are the major chunk, okay. Now apart from that, if you see, you have concepts which is sequence and series, which is nothing but APGP. Then we have uh, the ratio proportions chapter, equations. Then we have next set, I will say, the ratio proportions chapter, okay. Then we have the calculus and sets. So in terms of focus, these two form the major area of discussion, followed by these 3 areas. Okay, so this is going to be in max. Today our focus will be in max. Okay, now when it comes to stats, probably tomorrow when we are doing topic in stats, I will tell you how your focus areas are going to be. So with max, for the 40 marks, are you clear how your focus is going to be? Somewhere around 8 to, or rather I would say 7 to 10 questions easily from mathematics of finance. Same way, 7 to 10 questions easily from permutation combinations. So this itself is about almost about 50% of uh, your questions in max. Then followed by AP, GP and equations. Each chapter will have about weightage of 3 to 5 marks. Okay. Again, calculus is also about 3 to 5 marks. Ratios again is 3 to 5 marks. Sets maybe 2-3 marks. That has been your overall outlook when it comes to max 40 marks, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now let's get started with the first topic for the day. So we have planned 3 chapters for today, revision day 1. What are the chapters that we have planned? We have planned for mathematics of finance, then 2 topics which are slightly, 1 topic which is major and 2 topics which are going to be in the secondary category. What are the 2 other topics we have planned for is APGP and equations and inequalities. Okay, so these are the areas that we will be discussing for the day, right? I will be starting first with mathematics of finance. Now, under mathematics of finance, what are all the areas that we are going to discuss? Number one, simple interest. Number two, compound interest. Okay. Number three, concept of annuities. Number four, concept of perpetuity. And number five, CAGR, compounded annual growth rate. So in simple interest, we will have the formula for calculating the amount and simple interest. In compound interest, again, we will have the formula for calculating compound interest amount, which is the nothing but the value or future value. Then we will also have something called as effective rate of interest. Then in annuity, again, calculation will be based on two types, which is annuity due and annuity regular. Then we will learn about perpetuity and CAGR. So this is going to be, and of course in annuity again we have the concept of present value, future value. So all put together, this is going to be your coverage in this chapter. We will be dealing with this chapter topic by topic, okay? And we will be primarily focusing on these areas, okay, especially compound interest and annuity, where your questionable chances are very, very high, right? Okay, so first let us get started with questions. Let us get started with the formula for each area. I will be detailed explaining you the concept and formula once in full, and then we will go to the questions, right? First, simple interest. What do you mean by simple interest? In simple interest, remember, the principal remains constant. There is no increase in principal. Okay, the principal does not grow every year. There is a fixed rate of return and fixed amount of return. So which means if I say at 1 lakh rupees 10% interest every year, then 1 lakh into 10 percentage, 10,000 rupees fixed every year, I will be getting the same return, same percentage. Okay, so what is the formula for calculating simple interest? Simple interest is equal to principal into n, number of years, into I, where P we all know is the principal, n number of years, okay, and I is nothing but R by 100, which is rate of interest by 100. Few points to remember. R is always given as a percentage per annum, okay, and number of years should always be considered. So if they give you the question in terms of number of months, say for example, if it is given as, say, n is equal to 23 months, then 23 months you cannot put as it is, you have to convert it to years. How do you convert it to years? 23 divided by 12. 12 months in a year, so 23 divided by 12, which will convert it to years. Okay, so this is your first basic formula for simple interest, P into N into I. And the amount, which is the future value. Okay, future value word is not restricted to compound interest or annuity. Anything, any amount you receive in the future is called future value. Okay, if the question mentions simple interest, then simple interest. The question mentions compound interest, then compound interest. Okay, future value or amount is equal to principal plus simple interest. Clear?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is about simple interest. Now we go to the concept of compound interest. Now, what happens in compound interest? In compound interest, the principal amount increases by the amount of return or by the amount of interest. In simple term, the principal amount keeps increasing year on year. So, the rate of interest is constant. However, because your principal keeps increasing, the amount of interest received will also increase every year. So, the amount of interest grows every year, every period. The amount of interest grows every period. Okay. So what is the formula for compound interest? Now here, because we are going to look at the growth every period, we cannot calculate the interest directly. So what we will do? We will calculate the amount or the future value and then come to the interest. So amount, future value or amount is equal to principal into 1 plus I, the whole power n. 1 plus I, the whole power n, where P is the principal, I again R by 100, which is nothing but rate of interest per annum. Interest is always on an yearly basis. N refers to again number of years. N refers to number of years. Okay. Now, compound interest is equal to reverse. We all know amount is equal to principal plus interest. So, interest is equal to amount or future value minus principal. Minus principal. So, this is the basic formula for compound interest. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what happens if interest period multiplies? Okay. What is interest period multiplication? So if I say my interest is going to be calculated at not at every year, not at every annual intervals. It is going to be calculated at shorter intervals. Say for example, half yearly, which means interest has to be calculated and paid every 6 months or every 4 months or every 3 months, whatever time periodicity it is there. Okay, so the common period in which we multiply interests are half yearly, quarterly or monthly. These are the three common timelines in which interest is multiplied. So half yearly means how many times in a year? 2 times in a year. Quarterly, 4 times in a year. And monthly, 12 times in a year. Okay. Now, in simple interest, even if they use quarterly, half yearly, a monthly, no change in the calculation. No change in the calculation because we will anyways, once we calculate the interest for half yearly means we can divide by 2, quarterly divide by 4, monthly divide by 12. Okay. Remember, in simple interest, there is no concept of periodic rest because the interest amount is constant. So half yearly means the whole amount for the year will be split into two and given in two installments. Quarterly na divided by 4, monthly na divided by 12. However, you will frequently see this word called as compounding. So this concept of periodicity will apply to compound interest only, majorly. Okay, this we call it as quarterly compounding, half yearly compounding, or monthly compounding. If the question says compounded annually, okay, if the question says compounded annually, then it is the previous formula only. Once in a year. Okay, so periodicity is only one, so formula remains the same. However, if it is compounded half yearly, quarterly, or monthly, there is a small difference in the formula. What is the formula for amount or future value? It will be P into 1 plus I by T, the whole power NT. What is T? T is nothing but the period in which compounding takes place. Why we are going to look at this compounding periodicity? Because now your principal increase will not happen once in a year. Principal will get increased by the amount of interest every half year if it is half yearly compounding. So your interest will be calculated and added to the principal every 6 months if it is half yearly compounding. It will become every 3 months if it is quarterly compounding. So in the same year, the principal increases multiple number of times. So we need to calculate the number of period as n to the n into t. Because if it is 1 year, it is not one time, it is actually 2 times. Okay, if it is half yearly. If it is quarterly, if it is 1 year, it is not one time, it is actually 4 times. And if it is monthly, it is actually 12 times. This is the periodicity. Clear? Now, why do we do divided by T? Remember I told you I is nothing but R by 100, where rate of interest is always given as percentage per annum. So no one is going to give you the same percentage for 6 months. So if it is say for example, if it is 6% per annum, then for the first 3 months, for the first half year, it is divided by 2. Okay, so that is the reason you divide the interest by T, time periodicity. So remember the rule, when it is periodic compounding, your rate or I will get divided by the compounding period and N will get multiplied by the compounding period. Question will use the word compounded annually, compounded monthly, compounded quarterly, or they will use the word at monthly rests. So you will find the word rests. Monthly rests, half yearly rests, quarterly rests. If such words are there, then again it means compounding, periodic compounding. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay. So this is about periodic compounding. Now, before we go to the practice questions, just for the comfort of formula application, let us do a question on simple interest and compound interest. Find simple interest of principal 1 lakh at 7% per annum for 3 years. Second question, find compound interest of principal 1 lakh at 6% per annum for 2 years if it is compounded annually. Compounded annually means no change in the formula, original formula. Compounded half yearly. And third, compounded quarterly. Now try the solution for these three. Then we will discuss the answer. Start. First question. What is the formula for Simple interest?
P into N into I.
P into N into I. So 1 lakh into N, 3 years. If it is years, no, divided by 12, nothing. Into I. I is 7 by 100. R by 100, 7 by 100. So what is the simple interest?
21,000.
Yes. 21,000. So this is the simple interest. I hope the formula is clear now. Now let's go to the compound interest. First case, compounded annually. Then we have amount is equal to, remember I have asked the compound interest, but we will first calculate the amount. Okay, amount is equal to P 1 lakh into 1 plus I. I is 6 by 100, which is 0.06. The whole power 2. So you will do 1.06 in your calculator, 1.06 power 2 in your calculator. Again, friends, I have reiterated this in class. I am also repeating it now. No scientific calculators in the class, in the examination. So use a normal calculator, and in normal calculator, to take the power, you can do 1.06 into equal to. When you do into equal to, then you will get power 2. So let me show you.
12,360.
Yes. Let me show you for the benefit of the class 1.06 into equal to. So when you do into and equal to, you get power 2. Again, if you keep pressing equal to, you will get power 3, 4, 5 and so on. Okay, so 1.06 into equal to, you get 1.1236. So answer is into 1 lakh. 1,12,360 is the total amount. So 1,12,360 is the amount. So therefore compound interest will be 1,12,360 minus 1 lakh, which is 12,360 rupees. Okay. Now if that same question, we are going to look at half yearly compounding. Now in half yearly compounding, the formula is going to be 1 lakh into 1 plus I by T. So half yearly means T is equal to 2. Quarterly means T is equal to 4. So I by T na 0.06 divided by 2. The whole power N into T, 2 into 2. So this will be the amount. So which is 1 lakh into 1 plus 0.06 divided by 2 is 0.03. The whole power 4. So in the calculator 1.03 into equal to, this is power 2, 3, 4. So you get 1.1255. Do you get this, friends?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
1.1255 into 1 lakh, which is 1,12,550, 550.81 or 1,12,551. So therefore compound interest will be 1,12,551 minus 1 lakh, which is 12,551. So you will automatically see since the periodicity is increasing, the compounding interest is also increasing. Here it was 360, 12,360. Here it is 12,550. Now same way, let's do it for case C, which is half quarterly compounding. 1 lakh into 1 plus 0.06 divided by 4 quarterly, so divided by 4 into 2 into the whole power 2 into 4, which is 1 lakh into 0.06 divided by 4, 0.015. So 1.015 into equal to is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You get 1.1265. Please take at least 4 decimals in these type of calculations. So you will get 1,12,650, and therefore compound interest is 12,650 rupees. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So this is about calculation of compound interest at periodic compounding. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Right. Now we go to the next formula under compound interest, which is effective rate of interest. Now remember, in simple interest, because your amount and amount of interest remains the same, normal interest rate, simple interest rate is equal to effective interest rate. Whereas in compound interest, if you see here, same 6% is giving me different returns for different compounding periods. So my effective interest rate will change for different compounding periods. So how to calculate the effective interest rate? It is nothing but the actual overall return that I am getting after this compounding. So how to calculate? Use the compounding formula. Simple. What is the compounding formula? P, principal into 1 plus I divided by T the whole power NT. Idhila P we may not know because for effective interest we may not have P everywhere. Principal may not be given because rate of interest alone is calculated. So effective interest is equal to 1 plus I, the I divided by T the whole power NT. So in the P mattu I am removing from the compound interest formula minus 1. Now when I do this, I will get the answer in decimal because I we have converted into decimal R by 100. So final answer you will multiply by 100 to get the rate in percentage. So basically what formula we are using? We are using the compound interest formula la irukra compounding formula that we are applying for effective interest. No new formula. Same formula only we are applying it. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in the same previous question, if I want to calculate the effective interest for option B and C. Okay. So option B, if I calculate, it will be 1 plus 0.06 the whole divided by 2 the whole power 2 into 2 minus 1. Calculate into 100. Which is 1.1255 minus 1. So 0.1255 into 100. So your effective interest is 12.55% for 2 years. Because in that question we gave for how many years? For 2 years. But if the question asks, find the effective, listen here very carefully, find the effective interest per annum. Then n will always be taken as 1. N will always be taken as 1. எத்தனை வருஷம் கொடுத்தாலும் பரவாயில்லை, n will be considered as 1. So in that case, what will be the answer? 1.03 into equal to minus 1. So you will get 0.0609 into 100, which is 6.09% per annum. Common mistake, people will do this and take divided by 2. So 12.55 divided by 2 is 6.275, which is not the per annum interest. Per annum effective interest is 6.09%. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now do it for option C. Find the effective interest for quarterly compounding. 1 plus 0.06 the whole power whole divided by 4 the whole power 2 into 4 minus 1 into 100, which is
12.65 percentage.
yes 12.65 percentage. This is for 2 years. But if the question asks per annum, what are we going to do? 1 plus 0.06 divided by 4. N will always be 1 into 4 minus 1 into 100. So now it will be 1.015 into equal to 6.14 percentage. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
This most answers in your option will have this. So தயவு செஞ்சு இத பண்ணிட்டு divided by 2 பண்ணி ஆன்சர் கொடுத்துறாதீங்க, divided by n பண்ணி ஆன்சர் கொடுக்காதீங்க. Answer is wrong. So your per annum, whenever you are calculating effective interest, n will always be taken as 1 for effective interest. Remember the rule. Am I clear? Is that clear?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So this is
Yes, ma'am.
about the concept of simple and compound interest. Any doubts? Okay.
No,
Let's have a
ma'am.
quick recap. Simple interest. Simple interest, yes, I is equal to P into N into I. Formula is given for your reference. I will share this PDF in your group. Don't worry. It will have the formula referencer. It will also have your questions that we are going to practice in the class with the solution, with the answers. Okay. So this formula referencer, you can always use it for your examination reference. Now, points to remember. If simple interest and compound interest is given, it will always be same for the first period. For the second period onwards, compound interest will always be higher than simple interest. Okay. Now this is a shortcut formula. If rate of interest is given at compound interest, when the amount will double itself. So we can always calculate it as 72 divided by R. We can also apply the formula, the usual formula, but this is a shortcut only for doubling rule. Next, effective interest formula I have given. Okay, where I have given it as M. M is nothing but N into T. You can make a note of it. M is nothing but here N into T. Now, annuity formula and all will come to it separately. Before that, let's do the questions on practice for simple and compound interest. Shall we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, before I go to the questions, practice questions, remember how all your questions can come. Questions can come not always as direct questions. Questions can come where you may have to either calculate the interest amount, or you may have to calculate the amount or future value, or you may have to calculate the principal, or you may have to calculate the number of years. So the question can be a missing figure for any of these. So we have to read the question, first find out what all data is given. அதை எங்கேயா எழுதி வச்சிருக்க. So that then when you apply the formula, you know what you have to find out. First question. Rupees 8,000 becomes 10,000 in 2 years at simple interest. The amount that will become 6,875 in 3 years at the same rate of interest is. 8,000 becomes 10,000 at 2 years simple interest. The amount that will become 6875 in 3 years at same rate of interest. So it has to become 6875 at 3 years. Simple interest. Rate of interest is question mark. So what we will do first, we will calculate the rate of interest for the first scenario. Using that, we will apply it in the second scenario to calculate the principal. Yes. So the first case, simple interest is equal to 10,000 minus 8,000, which is 2,000. Okay, which is 2,000. Now this 2,000 is equal to principal 8,000 into n, 2 years into I. We do not know what is I. So calculate what is I.
$12.5.
Yes. 2,000 divided by 16,000, which is 0.125. So multiply by 100, R becomes 12.5 percentage. Now, R is 12.5 percentage. N is going to be the same amount that will become 6875 in 3 years. N is 3 years. And the amount or the future value is 6875. So what will be the principal? So 6875 is the amount. Remember, we do not know the simple interest value. So simple interest is equal to 6875 minus principal. So now we take 6875 minus principal is equal to P into N, 3 into I, 0.125. 12.5 divided by 100, 0.125. So which is 3 into 0.125, 0.375. 0.375 P is equal to 6875 minus P. So take P on the other side. 6875 is equal to P plus 0.375 P. Take P outside common. 1 plus 0.375. So you get P into 1.375. Now we can calculate P is equal to 6875 divided by 1.375, which is 5,000. Which is 5,000. Is that clear? Are you able to understand the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it's not 85,000, it's 5,000. Sorry, it was a typing error when I just typed. It got added by mistake. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Next.
Yes.
The rate of simple interest on a sum of money is 6% for the first 3 years, 8% for the next 5 years, and 10% after 8 years, which is first 3 years 6%, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is 8%, after that 10%. If the simple interest is accrued, then the sum for a period of 10 years is 1560. Now, what is this 1560? Is it the amount or the simple interest?
Interest.
Interest. Interest is 1560. What is the sum? So normally what we will do, the formula that we will do is SI is equal to P into N into I. But what is the trick here? The challenge here is I is 3 different values. Remember, simple interest nala, your principal is not going to change. P is going to remain the same. Okay, but I is 3 different values. So how do we calculate? So for simple interest, shall we? Remember, when we calculate the principal or when we calculate the simple interest, the interest is just going to add. Principal is not going to change. So we can say simple interest for the first, how many years? 3 years at 6% plus simple interest for the next 5 years at 8% plus simple interest for how many years? Total period is 10 years. 10 years la 3 years first கொடுத்தாச்சு அடுத்த 5 years கொடுத்தாச்சு. Balance how many years are there?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years. For 2 years at 10%, total simple interest is equal to 1560. So in simple interest, we need not do multiplication, then multiplication, then multiplication. We can do it as 3 batches and add. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So P, we don't know, into N, 3 into 0.06 plus P into 5 into 0.08 plus P into 2 into 0.10 is equal to 1560. So calculate.
Ma'am, 2000. P equal to 2000.
P is equal to 2000. Okay, very good. 0.06 into 3, which is 0.18, 0.18P plus 5 into 0.08, 0.40P plus 0.20P is equal to 1560. Now add everything together, 0.2 plus 0.4 plus 0.18, just 0.78. P is equal to 1560. Therefore, P is equal to 1560 divided by 0.78. We get P is 2000. Clear? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Next, third question. A sum of money amounts to 6,300 in 2 years and 7,875. It is not 77,000, 7,875. Sorry for the printing mistake. 7,875 in 3 years time. 3 years and 9 months at simple interest. Find the rate of interest per annum. Calculate.
Ma'am, it's 7,875.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's 7,875. Try. Shall we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let's discuss question number 3. A certain sum of money amounts to 6,300 in 2 years and 7,875 in 3 years, 9 months. So, amount 6,300 minus principal is equal to simple interest. And second, simple interest at what period? 2 years. Same amount, 7,875 minus principal becomes the simple interest for 3 years. Okay. Now we need to calculate the rate of interest. So 6,300 minus principal is equal to P into N, 3 years 9 months. Yeah, so 3 years 9 months. Into N, N is 2 into I. And the next one will be 7,875 minus principal is equal to P into. Now, how do you take 3 years, 9 months and calculate in number of years? 3 years and 9 months is 3 into 12, which is 36 plus 9. 45 months. So, I need to take it as 45 by 12. 45 by 12 or 3 9 by 12. 3 9 by 12 is again 45 by 12 only. You can convert this to decimal. Okay, into I. Right. Now, we need to calculate. We have two values where the missing figures are principal and interest. Let us see how we can arrive at this. Now, 6,300 minus principal is equal to P into 2 into I or Pi into 2. Now, keep the variables separately, keep the constant separately. So 6,300 is equal to P plus 2 Pi. Okay. Second, 7,875 is equal to P into 45 by 12 into I, which is, sorry, minus P is equal to. So 7,875 minus P is equal to 45 by 12 is simplified into 3.75. 3.75 Pi. So 7,875 is equal to P plus 3.75 Pi. So now 6,300 is equal to P plus 2 Pi. 7,875 is equal to P plus 3.75 Pi. Now we can subtract. P and P will get cancelled. 1,575 is equal to, this is 2 minus 3.75, which is 1.75 Pi. So now we write this as, okay, Pi is equal to 1,575 divided by 1.75, which is Pi is equal to 900. Now, Pi is nothing but principal into rate of interest. So, in the 900, if I have to find a meaning, I have to find out P. So, go ahead, use this in the equation and find out P. 6,300 is equal to P plus 2 Pi, which is P plus 2 into 900. So 6,300 is equal to P plus 1,800 or P is equal to 4,500. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Therefore, if Pi is equal to 900, okay, 4,500 into I is equal to 900. Therefore, I is equal to 900 by 4,500, which is 0.2. Multiply by 100, you will get 20%. Okay. So answer is 20%. Got it? Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Fourth question. A person borrows 5,000. It is rupee and 7 got confused. So there was a syntax error. 5,000 for 2 years at 4% simple interest. So 5,000 for 2 years at 4%. He immediately lends it to another person for at 6.25, 6.25% for 2 years at 6.25%, which is 5,000 again. Find the gain in interest. One, either you can do this interest, simple interest calculate separately, simple interest calculate separately. The incremental difference is the answer. Or amount is the same, rate of interest is the same, number of years is the same. You can just take the differential rate of interest, which is 2.25%, and calculate 5,000 at 2 years at 2.25%. So either you can do two interest and subtract, or you can do this. Which way you want to adopt? Yes? So I am doing the second method. We will get 5,000 into 2 into 2.25 by 100, which is calculator. 225 for how many years? This is for 2 years, but the question is asking the transaction, gain in the transaction per year. So read the question again. It is saying gain in the transaction per year. So divided by 2, which is 112.5. Okay. Question number 5. The time by which
I
a
have a
sum.
doubt
Yes, ma'am.
in this fifth question only, ma'am.
Fifth question.
How do you find out if it's simple interest or compound interest?
If the question
I
is
didn't get
silent, it is always simple interest.
Ma'am, but in this case, simple interest we will get answer like 100 years.
Let's check.
So it
The
should
time,
be
let's check. The sum of money, the time by which a sum of money is 8 times of itself, if it doubles itself in 15 years. Now, normally, okay, I give you the answer here. Listen, normally, if the question is silent, it is always simple interest. Okay, so in this case, we will first assume simple interest. But sometimes, okay, coming to what you asked, this question is a classic example. That is what we were about to discuss. Good that you have put this point. Anyways, so if a question is silent, ma'am, how do I assume whether it is simple or compound? Assume it as simple first. Try the answer in simple. If you feel the answer is not matching, then you have to assume other way around. Sometimes the question might be silent and yet it may not go by the general assumption. That means options are wrong? No. we have to test if the other option is available or possible. Okay. Now, if I assume simple interest, sum of money doubles itself in 2 years. So, P becomes 2P in 2 years. Okay. So, I can say simple interest is equal to amount, which is 2 times the principal minus principal, which is P. So, P is equal to P into 2 into I. I can cancel. So, what is I? Approximately 50% per annum you are getting. Correct? Friends, are you following me? Yes?
Can you
So,
tell once more, ma'am?
sorry?
Can you repeat it once more? I
Yes.
didn't understand.
Simple interest is equal to 2 times principal, which is doubled amount, minus principal, which is equal to P. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, if I substitute simple interest, P is equal to P into N into I. So, P into 2 into I. Sorry, doubles itself in 15 years. Yeah, sorry, 15. My bad. I'm sorry, 1 by 15. My bad. This 1 by 15, I assume doubled itself in 2 years. Doubles itself in 15 years. So, 1 by 15, you will get 0.6666, which is, if I do into 100, your rate of interest is 6.66 or 6.67%. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, in how many years will it become 8 times of itself? Now, 8 times na principal has to become 8P. So, amount is 8P. Rate of interest, same 6.67%. So, what will be the simple interest? 8P minus P, which is 7P. Agreed?
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
7P is equal to P into N, we do not know number of years. Rate of interest, we already know 0.0667. So, P and P I can cancel. Now, calculate 7 divided by 0.0667. You get the answer as 104.9 or approximately 105 years. Ma'am,
but in the option it's
coming
given
to it.
45.
Okay, or simple logic you can see, for it to double, for it to become 1 time, it is 15 years. Now, if peak 15 years na, 7 peak, we can directly do 15 into 7, 105 approximately. So, by looking at this, by calculating or looking at it, we understand that this question, though the question is silent and we assume simple interest, does not work under simple interest. So, what do we do? What do we do?
Compound
We
interest.
resort to compound interest. So, you should not always assume, ma'am, question, இந்த மாதிரி question na compound la தான் வருமா? கிடையாது. Simple லையும் வரலாம். That is the reason I am telling you, always question silent na simple la first try பண்ணுங்க. If that is not working, then go to compound interest. Now, the sum of money again, let's do. P has to become 2P in 15 years. Now, what is the formula for compound interest? Amount, which is 2P is equal to, remember in compound interest, it is the amount in the left hand side. P into 1 plus I the whole power 15. Okay. So, I will write 2 is equal to 1 plus I the whole power 15. Okay. Now, practically, I need to take 15th root to find 1 plus I. Yes, all that is there. But can we try if an easier method is possible? Yes. How can we do this? Now, keep this at this level. Don't simplify. Don't simplify. Just keep it at this level. Now, see the question. The question says, now for the principal to become 8 times the principal in how many years? So 8p is equal to p into 1 plus I the whole power n. We do not know what is n. Agreed? Now p and p I cancel. I can say 8 is equal to 1 plus I the whole power n. Now you can ask, ma'am, how do I simplify this? Very simple. LHS is there to help you out. 8 can be written as 2 power 3.
2 cube.
2 cube. 1 plus I the whole power n. Now, we know 2 is equal to 1 plus I the whole power 15. So, I can write 1 plus I the whole power 15, the whole cube. I am substituting 2 as 1 plus I the whole power 15. So that it is easy for me to cancel. Calculate la panni time spend panna vendam. 1 plus I the whole power n. Now, 1 plus I the whole power 15 into 3. 45 is equal to 1 plus I the whole power n. Therefore, n is equal to 45 years. Simple and done. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the answer for fifth question. Next. X invests 90,500 in post office at 7.5% simple interest. While calculating, the rate of interest was wrongly taken as 5.7%. The difference in maturity, difference in amounts na enna value, the final amount at maturity is 9774. What is the period for which the sum was invested? Let us work out. He invests 90,500. What is this 90,500? Principal or amount? Principal. So principal is equal to 90,500. Rate of interest, the original rate was 7.5%. Wrong rate was 5.7%. Okay. Now, period we do not know. The amount, again we do not know. The final amount difference is equal to 9774. This is simple interest, remember. So, now let us understand again where the problem is. Principal is the same. Principal is the same. Period is going to be the same for both the investments. What is the difference? Answer, my dear friends. Where is the difference?
In
In the
interest rate.
in the interest rate. So, what can we do? We can do in two methods. We can calculate simple interest for first 7.5%. We can calculate 5.7% and then take the difference, or we can take the differential rate. What is the differential rate? 7.5 minus 5.7, which is 1.8. 1.8 percentage. So the difference is 1.8 percentage, which has resulted in a difference of 9774. Now, why the difference in maturity comes? Is it because of the principal?
No.
No.
No, it is because of the
Different rates.
okay.
Rate of interest.
Rate,
Correct. 90,500 plus original simple interest. I am calling it as SI1 minus 90,500 plus SI2. What is SI2? Nothing but interest calculated at 5.7%. In the difference, the 9774. So, in a problem is not with the principal, problem is with the interest. So, this 9774 is the difference of simple interest. So, I can calculate 9774 is equal to 90,500 into N, I do not know, into I is the differential interest, 1.8 percentage. Calculate.
6 years, ma'am.
6 years.
6 years. One six two nine, so 9774 by 162. 6. So N is equal to 6 years flat. So remember, whenever the question is asked on differential rate, try to use the differential rate value alone directly so that you save time on calculation. Next. Shall I go to the next question?
Yes, ma'am.
7th question. A certain amount at a rate of simple interest X doubles itself in 5 years. Another rate of simple interest Y becomes 3 times in 8 years. Here the problem is, one is rate of interest X 5 years, another is rate of interest Y 8 years. The difference between these two rate of interest is, so here we cannot use differential rule because rate is also different, N is also different. So here we need to calculate two different workings. Shall we?
Yes, ma'am.
Certain sum P becomes, at simple interest X, it doubles in 5 years. So P becomes what? 2P in 5 years at X percentage. So simple interest is equal to 2P minus P, which is P. So now we can write P is equal to, which is simple interest is equal to P into N, 5 into X by 100. So cancel. I will write X is equal to, calculate 100 by 5.
5%, ma'am.
100 by 5, 5%.
20%.
Optionsல 5%.
Option, final answer சொல்றீங்களா? Okay, done. X is 20%, correcta?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Now coming to the second part. Another rate of simple interest Y, it becomes 3 times in 8 years. So P becomes 3P in 8 years at Y percentage. So simple interest here is going to be 3P minus P, which is 2P. So 2P is equal to P into 8 into Y by 100. P and P gets cancelled. You will get 2 into 100 by 8, which is 25, which is Y. Y is 25%. Therefore, the question asks, difference between the two interest rate is 5%. Aisha, Lalita, are you all clear? Are you following? Lalita is left and rejoining. Okay, anyways. Next. Work out the 8th question. Mr. A invested 20,000 in a bank at the rate of 4.5%. He received 27,500 at the end of the term. Find the period. Question is silent. So first what we assume? We assume a simple interest. So A invested 20,000 in a bank. Principal 20,000. Amount he is receiving 27,500 at 4% per annum, 4.5% per annum. So calculate simple interest is equal to 27,500 minus 20,000, 7,500, which is 7,500 is equal to P, 20,000 into N, we do not know, into 4.5 by 100. Oops. 8.33 years. 8.33 years or 8.34 years. $8.33 or 8.34 years. Now, just as an additional point, friends, in these type of questions, so if the question says 8.33 years or 8.34 in the decimal itself, if it is given, well and good. What if it is given in months? We will write 8 years and how do you write 0.33 months? 0.33 years in months.
4 months.
12 into 0.33. What is 12 into 0.33?
Almost 4 months.
Yeah. 3.96. So, or equivalent to 4 months. So, remember, if you are converting it into months, then you have to multiply the decimal portion into 12 for you to calculate the months. So, this is 8.33 years is not 8 years and 3 months, friends. It is 8 years and 0.33 into 12. It is 8 years and 4 months. Remember this. Okay. Next, ninth question. Ram invested a total of 1 lakh in 2 different banks for a fixed period. The first bank interest is 9%. Second bank 11%. If the total interest at the end of 1 year is 9.75% per annum, the amount invested in these banks are.
Should we still assume simple interest?
Yes. Question is, the rule is always clear. Question is silent, it is always simple interest.
Okay.
Ram invested 1 lakh in 2 different banks. So, he has split the amount of 1 lakh in 2 banks. Proportion we do not know. First bank, so let's put the numbers that we know. I don't know what is the rate of investment in each bank. So, X plus Y, total investment is 1 lakh. Now, this X investment has given me 9%. Y investment has given me 11%. Okay. Total interest at the end of 1 year. Super. So, N வந்து நமக்கு என்ன தெரிஞ்சிருச்சு? N is equal to 1 year. Now, total investment X plus Y put together, total returns is 9.75% per annum. What is the investment?
Ma'am, so we can say that the total interest that we have received is 1 lakh into 9.75%. So 9,750.
Very good.
Which is equal to X into 9 by 100 plus 1 lakh minus X into 11 by 100.
Perfect. Now, first thing, exactly correct. Now, one thing that I want to reiterate here is, common thing that people will do is, ma'am, can I take this differential 2%? You told we can take differential. No. Principle is the same.
No.
No, it's
So this
different.
differential logic will not work here. So now coming back to the same, to the question, total investment 1 lakh, okay, has given rate of interest, has given an yield of 9.75% per annum. So 1 lakh into 9.75 percentage into 1 year. What is the interest? Simple interest. Question silent, we assume simple
9,750.
interest. Correct. 9,750. So this 9,750 rupees is the total interest received from both the banks. Question purinjada? Aisha, Hari, Vasundhara, Samrata?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this is the interest received from Bank 1 and Bank 2. So now let us calculate. Bank 1 interest is what? X is the investment into 9% into 1 year. What is the Bank 2 interest? Y is the investment into 11% into 1 year. இது ரெண்டுத்தோட total எவ்வளவு? 9,750. 9,750. So far clear? Now I know that the investment X plus Y total is 1 lakh. So instead of keeping two different variables, I can write 1 lakh minus X is equal to Y. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So now I write Bank 1 plus Bank 2 interest, which is 9,750 is equal to, listen carefully, X into 0.09 plus Y க்கு பதிலாக I am going to put 1 lakh minus X into 0.11 into 0.11. Okay. So 9,750 is equal to 0.09x plus 1 lakh into 0.11 in calculator, 11,000. Okay, plus, sorry, minus 0.11x. So 9,750 minus 11,000 will give you minus 1,250 is equal to 0.09 minus 0.11 minus 0.02x. So what is x? 62,500. So now if x is equal to 62,500, y is equal to 1 lakh minus 62,500,
37,000.
37,500. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So clear with this question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 10th question. An investor is saving to pay off an obligation of 15,250 which will be due in 7 years. So this 15,250 is the amount today or future?
Future.
Future. This is the future value or the amount. If he is earning 7.5% simple interest, then how much should he deposit to meet the obligation? So I want to know what? Today's value or the principal. Question is on simple interest again. So amount 15,250. Principal we do not know. N, which will be due in 7 years at 7.5 percentage. 7 years, and R 7.5 percentage. Now we know simple interest is nothing but amount minus principal, which is 15,250 minus principal is equal to P into N into R, 7.5 by 100. Point 525. Now take P to the other side, plus P you will get. So P common வெளியில எடுத்துட்டா 1.525 is equal to 15,250. Therefore, P is equal to 15,250 divided by 1.525. Number itself clearly indicates 10,000. It's the principal. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Okay. So we have completed 10 questions. Okay. The next again 10 questions. I think up to question 20 is simple and compound interest concept only. I think the next 10 questions will be focusing more on compound interest, I believe. Yes. Okay. So we will start with the next set of 10 question number from question number 11 after your breakfast break. So take a break for breakfast and we will resume after your breakfast break.